What's going on, everybody? Behind me I've got my brand new Nissan Navara NP300. This thing is stock as a rock, basically just rolls straight off the showroom floor. I'm going to be making videos on all the upgrades that I do to this thing. So things like wheels, tyres, suspension, bar work, any accessories I put on this, I'm going to make a video on it showing you pros and cons, installation, features, things like that. So what we're going to do though is we're going to start off with something quite simple. We're going to go in and replace the factory head unit with something a little bit better, bigger, user-friendly, more features, things like that. So we're going to be putting in a Kayhan Audio 10.1-inch Android head unit. Basically, this unit is a complete plug-and-play system. It replaces the factory head unit. All the paneling and everything should just go back into the factory position and just be left with something a lot better than factory. So let's jump into the vehicle, take a look at the installation. First, we're going to start with the unboxing though and go through what you get for your money, what's included in the packaging, things like that. So let's get stuck into it. Package this back up to make it look like. I didn't get excited and open it already. Radio, let's unbox. So, first thing is first. What's on top? We've got our warranty card. Owner's manual. Take a look at this one later. Stop. Please check all of your accessories and cables as per the checklist provided. Next thing underneath that, quality check certificate. This has all been ticked and signed by the person who has packed the box, and it looks like they've not only checked the unit for its operation, making sure it all works, but also ticked everything that is inside this box. So best to check everything and make sure that all works and everything that's on that list is inside the box. Next we've got a photo. That photo shows again everything that's been packed inside this box. Quality control from Kayhan Audio and what they've put into this packaging is really good. Yep, it's huge. Thing is massive. Looks like we have some buttons down the side here, all touchscreen style buttons, nothing that's a press button. I'm guessing majority of the controls on this unit are in fact on the touchscreen itself, so don't really need a lot of buttons anyway, I don't think. This also incorporates with all of your steering wheel controls, so we'll have a look how that all works and how to hook it all up later. And what else is left? Cabling. That's it. Nothing left in the box. Alright guys, I'm going to check off everything that's inside the box, make sure that everything is on that list is actually in fact here, and once I've done that, let's jump into the car and take a look how to remove the factory head unit and then get this sucker installed. Alrighty, so what you need, you're going to need one of these plastic tools, something like this of some sort, so you can get basically straight in behind here. Lever it forward slightly so that it pops off. So you just want to keep working your way down the side until it pops away. There's a series of 3 clips along this. So you've got one at the top, one in the middle, and one down the bottom. So it takes a little bit to work it off, but just keep going until all 3 clips have popped off. They all go into these spots in here. So just be gentle with it, take your time. They are only plastic, so can potentially break easy. Repeat the same process on the other side of the car. Alright, so what you have now is an exposed head unit. So what you want to do is you basically want to use your Phillips head screwdriver and undo this series of 3 Phillips head screws on either side. You will need to reuse these screws, so make sure that you keep them aside for the reinstallation of your Kayhan Audio head unit. Alrighty, so once you've got the series of 3 screws either side, total of 6, there's 4 more screws you need to take out, and they're down the back here, in behind the head unit, that are the chassis plate for the back of the head unit itself. So we'll go ahead and take those out as well. They are Phillips head, exactly the same as the front. Alrighty, so what you want to do is you want to give the face plate, the head unit, a little bit of a wiggle. And it will all pull away. So once you've got it to this point and you've wiggled it free from its clips on the backing plate here, you'll need to go around to the back of the unit itself and unclip the plugs that are connected. Also got a clip down here on the bottom. This clip controls the AC unit. Alrighty guys, so we've got the head unit out of the NP300. Hopefully it was fairly similar to your model, so you can use that video as a bit of a guide on how to get it out of the car. Now it's still got the factory AC unit attached to the head unit, so we need to remove this portion of it and put the AC unit onto the Kayhan audio head unit. There's a series of 2 clips, one either side here. Use a set of needle nose pliers to get in there, push the clips together, and they'll just pop straight out like that. Do the same on the other side. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to install the AC unit onto the Kayhan audio head unit. You need to put the clips from the AC unit into these 2 slots. So place the AC unit just underneath there like that. Grab the front of the AC unit and push upward until it clips into place. Alrighty guys, so we've got all of our wiring bits and pieces here laid out on the bench. I recommend doing something a little bit similar to this to try and make it easier for yourself. So laying everything out, all your wiring and hardware, means that you can see exactly what you're working with. So you've got your plugs here which need to go into the back of the head unit. We can do that first before getting into the car, meaning that way all we've got to do is plug in the plugs to go into the vehicle, and that makes things really easy for you. So you don't have to have all these plugs hanging around, you're trying to wire in at the same time while you've got it awkwardly placed in the car. So let's go ahead and put them in the back of the head unit and see where everything goes, match it all up, and hopefully that gives you a good idea as to where it might go in your vehicle as well. Let's check it out. Alrighty, so we'll start with this one here. This plug here is going to be the main harness plug which goes into this spot here. So go ahead and plug that one in. Next one, we'll go with this one here. Okay, it looks like this plug can only go into that spot there. And we've got this one. Looks like the antenna plug, which will go in there. That looks like it's going to be it for what plugs into the head unit itself. This one here is for your CAN bus controller. Plug that one in there. Alrighty, so this one here is your loom for the reversing camera. Looks like this plug here will connect up to the cam wire here. And this plug goes into the head unit, and it looks like that it can only go into there. Okay, and then these 2 go together for a reversing camera. If your vehicle has a reversing camera, that will connect it. And moving on to the next plug. Alrighty, so we've got this one here with a bunch of audio cables on the other side. It looks like that this can only plug into there. Alrighty, so then we've got this one left over. This is the plug for the Nissan Navara side, and these ones must go into here somewhere, so we'll try and find where they go. We've got the AUX LIN and AUX RIN, so it looks like AUX RIN, that one there, and this one here, AUX LIN, AUX LIN, so those ones there go together. It looks like that is going to be all of the plugs that we need to install into the back of the head unit as far as out of the vehicle. There's a couple more that are going to go in once we install it into the car. Alrighty guys, so we're back in the car. Now we actually have 3 plugs that need to go into the back of the head unit. The GPS antenna wire needs to be screwed into the back of the unit as well. One of the USB cables I've put into the glove box here, so I've just fed it straight through the side from the head unit bay and put it straight into the glove box for if you want to charge a phone in there or something or other like that. You can put it anywhere that you really want to. So we've got a few other wires. We've got one for the microphone for hands-free, that one there, and we've also got the other one here for the USB, the factory USB cable, and that connects up to that one there, which is a factory plug, and that goes down in there for the factory USB slot. the fast charge USB. So as you guys can see, I've got my GPS antenna there ready to stick down. It comes with a double-sided tape already on there, and I've run also my speaker here for hands-free up through the same panel. Now this is a speaker panel, it's a speaker cover basically on the top here. I've just lifted it up, I've fed the cabling down from underneath the dash on the driver's side, and keeps it all out of the way, nice and tidy. I'll clean it up properly later. I'm going to put all the cabling down in front of the dash here so you won't be able to see it, and then stick these ones down. So that's where I've mounted them. I mean, you guys can put it wherever you want to, but that sort of is somewhere that's accessible and keeps it out of the way as well. Let's get started with plugging everything in. So you got these ones here. These are your factory plugs that we left behind from removing the factory head unit. These ones here. Now these ones are for the head unit. This one's for the AC system, so we'll leave that down there. It's going to go in last. It's got the shortest lead on it, so it's going to be probably the most difficult to put on and have the head unit out where we can reach everything. So we'll have these ones sitting up here ready to go. So let's get the head unit into position. You've got a series of plugs. Now I will just mention that Kayhan Audio have told me not all of the plugs on this will be used. They're for different model vehicles and things like that, so don't be alarmed if you've got something left over out of the plugs that we need to put in. There may be something that we don't need to use, so that looks like all of them there that we've got to put into the vehicle. So we'll see if they fit in and what ones don't. All right, so let's start with this one here first. Alrighty, looks like it plugs into that one there. All right, we'll go to the next one. The next one of the main plugs, which is that one there. Alrighty, and that's that plugged in. So it looks like, for me, in the Silverline, 2018 Silverline, this plug here is not used. So I'll leave that one aside. Next we'll go to this one here. And I think that one will go into this plug here. Goes that way up. Yep, clicks into place. Alrighty, so that's those ones done. The antenna wire. Let's find the antenna plug here somewhere. There it is there. Okay, looks like it goes that way there. Yep, clicked into place. Okay, so that looks like it's all of the main plugs connected up. There's nothing left that needs to go together. So it looks like, for me, these two plugs here are not used. So don't worry about those if you have a 2018 model Silverline. Might be suited to an ST or an STX model maybe. There might be some extra plugs that need to go together, so you might use them. Alrighty, so now we need to get those other plugs down here that need to go in. So we've got this one here for the other USB in the glove box. And that looks like it will fit in there. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's only one spot that it can go. And it's just clipped into place there. So, got this one here for the hands-free speaker. That looks like it can only go in there. Clicked into place. And the last plug is this one here, which is for the fast charge USB, your factory one in the vehicle, down in the center console area. And that goes into the last plug space there. That's everything plugged into this unit now. So all of the plugs are plugged in the back here. All of the plugs are plugged into the factory wiring harness for the vehicle off the head unit. Now the only thing left to do is the GPS antenna wire, which is this one here, and that again is screwed on like the Wi-Fi antenna to here. Always start the thread by hand. It's a very fine pitch thread, so it's very easy to cross thread, and you can use a small span if you like to, but you can usually get these ones to pull up tight without one. Alrighty guys, so it looks like that's absolutely everything installed now. All of the factory harness plugs are connected to what they can be connected to. All of the plugs going into the back of the unit have been plugged in. There is not a single space left on there, so I'm sure that we've got them all. Things may be a little bit different on your model, again, like I said, so just use this as a bit of a guide. I hope there's something here that can help you. Once again, my model is a 2018 Silverline, so plugs may be a little bit different, but I'm sure they're all still plug and play. I mean, it seems to be pretty straightforward from what we've done so far. Everything's gone together nicely. Hopefully when we plug it all, put it all back together and turn it on, it fires up as it should, and everything's good to go. So all that's left to do now is just basically mount the unit back into place, making sure that we do plug in that AC plug at the back as well once we start pulling it in together, and we'll go from there. So alrighty, so let's get this one installed. There's two tabs on the bottom here of the AC controller panel. Basically they go into some tabs down on the bottom here. So there's two tabs that they need to slot into. Alrighty, so let's make sure we line those up first. Make sure that all the wires are pushed in and everything's clear as well. Alrighty guys, so once you've got the head unit in place here, the two tabs are located on the bottom for the AC panel. You've got your bolt holes now lining up on the head unit itself. I'm going to start with putting a bolt in the two top ones here to hold it in place. There's a lot of weight up here, so I would like to get those ones in first to make sure it doesn't have any flex on the unit. Now, remembering that you're using the black screws that we pulled out from the head unit, not the silver ones which go in the chassis panel on the back there. So using those ones here, Phillips head screwdriver. And just be careful when you're starting the thread that it does feel good. Don't cross thread it. I wouldn't do it up completely tight straight away. We'll pull them all down together at once so that the head unit isn't flexing one way. Alright, so I'm just going to go through and tension all these up now. Make sure that they're all firmly pulling down on the unit. Don't over tighten them. They don't need to be ridiculously tight, just till it feels firm. Alrighty guys, so that is the head unit now installed. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go ahead and get the plastic panels back on the side here. We'll clip those back into place and turn it on and see how she goes. Alrighty, so everything is now installed. Pretty stoked with how that thing's gone together. So everything was actually a lot easier than I thought. All of the paneling goes back together like factory. Absolute credit to Kayhan Audio for the molding that they've done with this unit, because everything just looks like it's supposed to be there. All of the side paneling here looks good. The AC paneling all goes back on properly. There's no gaps between any of it. Really happy with the install. It looks great. So let's go ahead and turn the thing on and let's see how much of the factory features are installed, whether or not the steering wheel controllers work, reverse camera works, things like that. Alrighty guys, so we've loaded into the main screen by the looks of things, and I mean, this is pretty awesome. It looks like it's got a bunch of quick touch buttons here which take you straight to different menus from, you know, an easy accessible panel. So nothing where you have to go into a, you know, application or anything like that, application screen, and get to it. It all is laid out pretty easily here. So let's start from, let's work from the left and work our way across. So we've got music here. It seems like that would be if you've got a USB or some sort of storage device plugged into this unit that has music on it. Much the same as videos here by the looks of it as well, so that would probably be similar. We've got radio, pretty self-explanatory. We've got Smooth FM loaded in as a, as a factory station, but nothing else. Maybe they've done a test on it to make sure it all works. Alrighty, Alrighty, so back out of that. What have we got next? So we've, video. That screen is probably if we've got a storage device plugged into it and there's video to play. Bluetooth. So this is for your phone connectivity or any Bluetooth device that you'd like to connect up to the head unit itself. That'll do the trick by the looks of it. And again, it looks like they've done some testing. So none of these products are anything that I've installed. So I'd say that they've tested the unit for operation before it's left their warehouse and make sure it all works. So again, kudos to Kayhan for the quality control that they do on these units before they leave. We've got GPS next, so obviously a feature which we're all going to be using a lot of. So let's hope the factory software is quite easy to use and we don't have to install anything aftermarket. I mean, we can use Google Maps, for instance, and things like that, but it'd be great if this was good. Okay, so far it looks like it's loaded me in already and all the updates seem to have already been done on this unit. Looks like I've got good signal up in the top corner here. So a few different features. We've got destination, your standard stuff, find address. Let's go find on map. Okay, so it's a different view showing my location there. It's pinpointing me straight away, which is pretty awesome, and it's accurate. I mean, that's it's exactly where I am. Okay, so it looks like that's a different view, and it looks like it's got some. Oh, don't know what I've done. Trying to zoom out. Okay, so it goes 3D the closer in you zoom. I'm sure a bit of playing around there and I'll be able to figure it out, but so far it looks pretty good. I mean, again, you know, it's pretty good for a factory loaded application by the looks of things. It's got a lot of dot points on there of, you know, places of interest and things like that. It's relatively smooth. It seems to be working really well, so that looks good. Alrighty, so don't know what this button is down the bottom here. It's got like a moon and a star on it, nighttime. Oh, okay, so looks like that just turns the screen off. Yeah, so basically a night mode, which is perfect for if you're driving along and the screen is too bright in your face or something like that. It's got a night mode feature, so touch that, touch the screen again, turn it back on. That's pretty cool. Alrighty, so little home button there. Okay, so this takes you into all of your apps and everything. So this is pretty awesome. So there's a few preloaded apps that I'm guessing they think that you would like to use. What's this thing? It changes the colors of the buttons. Cool. Got a few here. I probably won't run through them all. As I mean, some of them are pretty straightforward and there's a few other bits and pieces here, but it looks like down in the bottom corner here you've got your Play Store, so you can basically go into there like you would on your Android and download any applications onto the unit itself and you know, have anything on there that you want. So this is just a starters. Oh, it's got talk. This is a really awesome program. Basically, it gives you a live dash. It pulls information from your factory ECU using an OBD dongle, and it will load that information straight onto this and show you in real time what you're doing. So it's got things like your RPM, which you've already got, so you don't really need. You've got your speed there, coolant temperature, acceleration, throttle position, and you've got a boost gauge down here as well. So you can change. Great thing about this app is you can change all those around to different things. I mean, there's so many different options of what you want to look at. It also does fault finding as well, so you can basically, if there's anything ever wrong with the vehicle and you need to check for faults, it does all that through here. So check fault codes. Yeah, it'll basically tell you if there's anything wrong with your vehicle, much like what a mechanic can do. So that is a really awesome feature that they've added on there for free. Really cool. I'd recommend taking a bit more of a look at this program and what it's all about. So yeah, so it looks like that's all the factory things that they've put on this unit. There's a few apps there that are handy, but again, go to Play Store, download some that you know normally use and make it more your own. A few things I'd like to touch on straight away about this unit. So first off, I was a bit worried about the sensitivity of the screen. I was worried if it wasn't going to be sensitive enough, you know, like if there was a delay in when you touch a button or if you had to double touch buttons to get them to do things. But it is really quite sensitive. So it's not overly sensitive, but when you touch a button, it goes straight into something. I don't feel uncomfortable using it whatsoever. I mean, these side buttons here, you've got your return, home screen, power button, sound up, sound down. They're all just add-ons to the buttons that are already here. So you've got your back button there. We'll go here. You've got back button. If you go into something there, you can hit that and it goes back to home screens. Alrighty guys, let's have a look and see if some of the factory steering wheel controls work straight away and we don't have to set anything up. So we'll go into the radio, Smooth FM again. Got a little bit of Smooth FM. Let's hit the sound up button on the steering wheel. Alrighty, so straight away that sound volume up and down seems to be working, no problems at all. Let's try going to, let's press the source button on our steering wheel, and that should take us to another screen. And it is, so it's moving through the main screen features. So now we're going to navigation by the looks of it. Press it again. We're going to music, and it's just shuffling through those main quick features on the home screen. So that's pretty awesome. So the source button's working straight away. Alrighty, let's try going to voice calls. Press the voice call button, and that's working too. So straight away we're straight into the voice call screen, and we can go through those settings and make calls. So looks like all of the steering wheel features are working. No problems there at all. So straight away I have not had to set anything up on this unit, and all of the factory steering wheel controls are working perfectly fine. So that is a massive bonus. I notice as well, going back here, we've got steering wheel. So it looks like we can actually change what the steering wheel buttons do in this menu here. You know, if you wanted to change what a certain button on your steering wheel does, I reckon you can do it in here. So we'll go, let's go home. I saw a settings tab down here we haven't done yet. So we've got Wi-Fi, data usage, more, display. So display will have brightness level, things like that, which is going to be really handy, you know, depending on how bright you like your screen to be. Notifications, sound, applications, storage, which is showing a 7.44 gigabyte used of 32 gig, which is probably all the preloaded applications and any images for wallpapers and things like that, I'm assuming. You've got how much memory you're using out of your 2 gigabyte memory that it's got preloaded onto the Android. You've got location, accounts, Google, languages inputs, date and time, developer options, car settings, and about device. So it shows you the current model and things like that. Car settings could be an interesting one. Okay, so we've got some extra features here. We've got steering wheel control, Navi application, Navi auto start, shutdown delay, MCU update, system update, reset factory, extra settings. Okay, now this is what Kayhan Audio are talking about, the extra settings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the factory preset password. And you've got all, this is where you start getting into more in-depth features of the unit. So you've got things like your resolution adjustment, panel keys, select radio region, things like that. So you can do also some things for your reverse camera in here. You can do some setups for that. The lines on the screen showing you where you're going, you can change where they are actually set, which we will have a look at soon as well, and just see if we need to do any of that or if it's already there ready to go. So heaps of settings there. This thing has got so many features, they don't really lock you out of anything. You can basically set up this unit exactly how you want the unit to be. So let's try the reversing camera. So everything should just work straight away, so I've been told. So we'll pop it into reverse. Looks pretty good to me. So straight away, we've got the factory lines, which look to be lining up really nicely. Doesn't look like they need to be adjusted at all. I mean, that's a lot clearer than the factory Navara head unit that I had in there before. That is a, you know, really good picture for just a standard reversing camera. Alrighty guys, so just a quick recap on the Kayhan Audio head unit for the Nissan Navara NP300. So far so good. Absolutely stoked with how easy this thing is to install into the vehicle. It doesn't take much at all. I mean, everything went smoothly as far as, you know, I can see for my particular model. There was no hiccups whatsoever. Everything plugged in as it needed to. I've turned the car on straight away. Everything is working. So all of my buttons on my steering wheel are working perfectly fine. The reverse camera is working as it should. Everything is basically doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, The screen again is really good, so it's not overly sensitive, but it's perfect. Whenever you touch something, it works, so it doesn't have any delay. It's not like you have to double touch things because it's not registering your finger. It's basically working perfectly. I cannot fault it so far. I'm going to use it a little bit more and let you guys know if there's anything I come across that I don't like, but so far it's looking pretty good. And I mean, I wouldn't really recommend looking at any of the cheaper ones on the market that don't have the updated software installed, you know, and all of these factory features that Kayhan Audio have installed onto this head unit is really worth the money. I mean, not only that, but they've also tested, as I've shown you, you know, tested everything before it leaves, making sure that everything works and the functions are going to work for you and your vehicle. Alrighty guys, so Kayhan Audio have said they want to help you out with your next purchase. If you use this code here, this one, bing, 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 they're going to offer you free shipping off your next purchase for your Nissan Navara NP300 head unit. So jump on board with that one and grab yourself some free shipping, guys. Thanks heaps for watching the video. I hope in some way this has helped you with the installation process of a Kayhan Audio head unit into your Nissan Navara NP300. I'm really happy with how it went. It was quite an easy process to install. It didn't take too long at all, and everything was there. I didn't have to go and source any parts to install it. It was plug and play like they say it is, so that's awesome. It was really easy. I've also been using the unit now for a couple of weeks, and it's something that I have personalized a little bit. I've changed a few of the settings around, a bit of the interface and stuff like that, and I'm really happy with how it's going. I haven't found anything about the unit that I don't like or any complaints that I have thus far. Really happy with my purchase. I hope in some way this has helped you make up your mind on which way you'd like to go. There's a few products in the market obviously for the NP300, so it can be a little bit confusing of where to spend your money. I hope that this demonstrates, you know, some of the features about the unit and why I think it's a good purchase. I really look forward to making some more videos for you guys soon. I've got a lot more accessories put on my Navara NP300. I'm going to start doing a bit more in-depth stuff with bar work, some drivetrain bits and pieces, wheels and tires, obviously, offsets, sizes, do you need to trim your guards, things like that. Like a lot of the questions that I have, and I know that you guys have as well, and hopefully I can answer them for you. So I look forward to seeing you guys soon in another video. If you have any questions about this video though, drop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer it for you. Thanks again for watching. See you guys soon.